Sir, thank you, sir, for your presentation. So, good evening, everyone. I'm Arpan Kaur, research scholar in the Department of South and Central Asian Studies at the University of Punjab. Today, on behalf of Indian Research Scholar Association, I welcome you all in the second day of today's webinar series on Rethinking Punjab Politics, a discussion on evolving economic and socio-political dynamics. So, in previous sessions yesterday, we have touched upon the political dynamics as well as few aspects of historical and social dynamics as well. Today's session we will be focusing more on the economic perspective, although we have with us Manu ma'am, who will be touching on the historical perspective as well. So that today's session will be chaired by Professor Charan, CEO and founder director of EGROW Foundation. So the just like the previous session, the session will start with the chair address, which will be followed by a 20-minute address by all five expert speakers. And in the end, we will be having an open session for discussion and queries of participants. And Google form will be sent at the end of the session for attendance. So now I pass the baton to Mr. Vikash Kumar for further proceeding. Sir, please
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, Arpan Preet Kaur ji. So first of all, I would like to welcome to respected Professor Charan Singh sir, and thanks to Professor Lakhwinder Singh sir, the person who has given me the contact number of Professor Charan Singh sir. So sir, I would like to you're most welcome sir on the behalf of the Indian Research Scholars Association and on the behalf of me sir, and I would like to welcome to Professor Sandeep Kaur madam, and because your madam has accepted our invitation very easily. So you're most welcome, ma'am. I would like to welcome Professor Manu Sharma, madam, and also Professor Indrabir Singh, sir. Both has accepted our invitation very short notice. So on behalf of the Indian Research Scholars Association and on behalf of me, I would like to welcome our participants and all the guest speakers. So I will not take more time. Just I would like to invite Professor Charan Singh sir. Sir, please proceed the session, sir. So thank you so much, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited about this session. If you remember, I've done about 6 sessions in the last 3 months dedicated to Punjab economic issues. And therein, we had got in each session, we had 3 or 4 people who would come and talk to us about the economic issues in Punjab. And Professor Sandeep had also participated in one of them. And I was very happy to know that today she is doing again joining us. Um, Punjab is one state which is, I would say, for any economist, a nightmare, for a policymaker, a nightmare. Nobody can understand what happened to Punjab, such progressive state, number one in the country, full of hardworking people, dedicated and simple people, and suddenly it knows no bottom. It's spinning downwards and spinning so badly that we do not know where will it stop. And everything that can go wrong is going wrong in this state. In terms of economics, of course, I know politically it is a border state. I also know it has faced lots of invasions and troubles. I also know that while rest of the country was safe, actually the partition of the country hit Punjab the most. And then, of course, what happened in mid 80s, we all know about it. So therefore, studying, knowing, living in Punjab, one always wonders what has happened and what has gone wrong. And then you read dreadful reports like desertification of Punjab soil and gives you a tremble, a shiver in your spinal cord that what is happening and it's happening all in front of your eyes. You can do nothing, you can't control it. And then it becomes the cancer capital of the country, and then you don't know what to do. So it's such a difficult state, such a difficult state. And for a policymaker or an economist, and like me, who's been in Punjab, outside Punjab, who's lived in Punjab, lived outside Punjab, who has relatives in Punjab and outside, and somebody who has traveled within the country and outside the country, it becomes a nightmare. You know things, you know where they're going wrong, but you can't do anything. And you feel so helpless. So I think you, as young scholars, getting together, at least discussing these issues, and providing people like me a privilege to come and listen to all of you and chair such sessions, I'm really thankful to you. But I also think it's a challenge to young people what they can do through their popular writings, TV debates. If somebody can listen to us, at least if we are going on a trajectory which is extremely damaging, and we can move that trajectory partially, even partially, I think that's a great success. So I look forward to the deliberations today. The topics that are being discussed today are absolutely fantastic topics. Professor Sandeep, I know of her work in agriculture and environment, so I'm looking forward to her talk. I'm going to be listening to Professor Indraveer for the first time, but the topic is very, very good. Socioeconomic outlook for Punjab. So whatever has happened has happened. What are we doing in future? And then we have Professor Manu Sharma. She is an historian, but she just told me the type of topics that she's going to cover. So I'm really looking forward to your presentations. So let me start with Professor Sandeep. I understand, Professor Sandeep, you have 20 minutes, but my experience tells me that uh, we are going to be here for 75 minutes together. So if you are able to wrap up your research in about 15 minutes, we'll immediately follow with Professor Manu Sharma, and then immediately with Professor Indrabir, and then open up for discussion. So I'm looking at it from the angle of 45 minutes of a monologue from each one of you, 15 minutes each, and then half an hour of real good discussion. We are 30 of us, and I'm sure we can engage you, three of you, for that time. With that, let me invite Professor Sandeep. You have the mic and the floor, please.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm very grateful that the very inspiring man, Professor Charan Singh, who always encouraged not only me and very young audience regarding the research. When I listen you very first time, sir, I really feel so happy that what criteria and what research objective you have told us that we have to think, and I think I will cover that direction in future also and in this presentation also. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you these young scholar teams and other participants and other resource persons. Without wasting my time, I'm just going to start my presentation. Mr. Vikas, if you allow me to share my presentation, because here I couldn't able to share my presentation
Sure,
PPT.
one.
See, before starting my presentation, I just want to tell you very simple or interesting story. How can we encourage our scholars to do research in their own area? Before my environmental degradation work, I was only international economist. Now also I work on international economics, but I came into Malwa region, which I feel that it's suffering from so many environmental degradation issues. And if I will not start that issues, I couldn't able to understand what is the Punjab's situation. If we will say that Punjab facing agrarian distress, and under this agrarian distress, I am damn sure environmental degradation is a part of that distress, which I want to explain today. And before I want to cut short that I was already aware of that, therefore I'm just putting my presentation in a very short mode and in PPT mode. I think my PPT is visible to everyone. Is it so?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now I want to tell you what is understanding environmental degradation in agriculture of Punjab. If we will look Punjab in agriculture broadly, there are number of issues, but I am putting a very small light on very special some major issues with respect to environmental degradation. Everybody knows that Punjab, a pioneer in green revolution of in India, and has earned the reputation in the food bowl of India. The cropping pattern which Punjab has followed has achieved food security in the country. But at present, what face the state is facing? It's a facing not only agrarian crisis but climatic crisis also, as the crop failure is coming into picture. Therefore, the some major issues which I have highlighted: crop failure, agrarian land acquisition, fast pace of extraction of groundwater for paddy crop, excessive use of pesticide have put Punjab into agrarian environmental degradation crisis. The losses the farmer which are facing now, they have to think about the crop insurance plan which Punjab is not following. And it is a very surprising fact that Punjab, which is known as an agrarian state, when the Punjab's farmers are facing the crop failure, but Punjab doesn't have its own crop insurance policy or even center own policies. In the light of that, these are the issues which I am going to share with you all. Number one, groundwater extraction at a higher level with the help of tube wells to get maximum returns in agriculture. Number two, at the name of an urbanization and industrialization and becoming power hub, a fast pace of agrarian land acquisition has been done. Moreover, the pesticide use is increasing day by day, and that has also put a question mark on the health as well as productivity. And lastly, crop failure and farmer suicides has happened, especially in the Malwa region, which is known as a cotton belt that has shifted to cotton to paddy, and paddy is creating groundwater depletion, and this shifting has put a lot of other questions. Before starting the lecture, I just want to show the agriculture share of Punjab. If you look into the values of Punjab in agriculture, the Punjab's agriculture position in 1981, it was just 48.2%, and which has coming down 27.93%. That means agriculture share has come down. Of course, the industry, services, all success has to come up. But whether they have come into that structural changes, that is a different story. But the share which we are getting at present due to the cost of environment or environmental degradation. Going to the directly one major part, the area under major crops of Punjab. I think many of us every time is aware only this thing: Punjab follows monoculture cropping pattern. And my dears, I want to tell you in 1950 to 60, cereals and pulses accounted nearly 45.95% and 19.08% in total cropped area. But in 2021, the figure speaks itself that 85% wheat and paddy has constituted. And once we are saying that wheat and paddy, and we are aware of that, this is due to many reasons. Minimum support price and market is one of the major reason. If you look into the overall groundwater stage in the country, it is at just 61.60%. But Punjab is facing 164.42% in Punjab. And this groundwater development means what? Means groundwater consumption annually is more than groundwater recharge. And out of all districts of Punjab, Sangrur is facing this crisis at a highest level, because the stage of groundwater development is 260%. And if I will look into the district wise scenario, 20 districts out of 23 have the value more than 100%. You can imagine the situation of Punjab, which is facing groundwater depletion for the crop that is growing, that is a paddy. And which is, even I want to say here, paddy, it's not Punjab's crop, which even. And if I will see the Punjab's situation as per the overexploited blocks, you will find out the neighboring state that has overexploited blocks, even that also having the same cropping pattern 60%, but we are above than that, that is a 78%. And this cropping pattern has made and compelled farmer to increase investment on deepening tube wells. My dear, here I want to tell you, with the help of my students, when I went for the survey, I have seen that the tube wells are digging at a very deeper level, and the horsepower they use to extract the groundwater, that is that is even much more than that power which can get out of the water, because due to free electricity, though we have fixed the number of hours, but still more horsepower, more depth of tube wells made it water extraction at a very faster level. There is another cropping system has been encouraged. I cannot say that nobody is putting this as a question mark. Many efforts are doing. Punjab Agriculture University is also doing a lot of efforts, and even farmers are aware. They want alternate solution, but concern is what? Concern is that no permanent solution. They look for the market. I want to tell you very interesting story here before coming into other data set. There are two techniques in for paddy cultivation. One is direct water pumping, that is a traditional plantation method, that is a labor intensive technique, and another is direct seeding rice. PAU and many other agriculture scientists said that the farmers of Punjab and Haryana especially, and they give, the government has given subsidy also to do all these things, but concern is farmer couldn't able to do. But the time has come when farmer has been encouraged to use that, and that time was COVID-19. Because during COVID-19 all laborers went to UP and their own states, and at that time paddy cultivation period was there, but farmer couldn't able to find out the labor at a higher level, and they were compelled to use direct seeding rice. And what has happened, the surprising fact which I have seen, that the DSR technique, which farmer never want to adopt it, during COVID-19 they adopted it, but we are not ready for that. That was our challenge. When we were aware of that, we are in that crisis position, in that crisis period, new technique, new adaptation technologies are required to adapt Why we are not ready for that? Why we are not giving that type of assistance to the farmers? Because what has happened, the first time farmers response is marvelous, but surprisingly, if a farmer have 1 acre land and farmer is unsure about the return of direct seeding rice, and therefore farmer used both technology, DSR and traditional, means we couldn't able to find out the solution. And why DSR is not preferred? Because due to lots of weeds growth is there, and in DSR machines which they have hired, especially we are aware of that large chunk of farmers belong to small and major farmers, and machines were not available for DSR, and that's why they have to hire. And here I want to tell you especially one important point. Our farmers are so innovative. You just see both machines. One machine is DSR machine, which is not available for them due to peak season, and farmers are so innovative. They make their own machine for DA to drill through direct seed for direct seeding, means they need some solutions, and who will provide it? Until groundwater crisis will not be sorted out at the farmer level, at the groundwater level, groundwater depletion problem will not be sorted out, and it's not a one day job. It has to be sorted at a grassroots level. Every day one effort will become a multiple efforts. And moreover, I want to tell you, and maybe many agriculture economists are aware of that, because paddy stubble burning is also a major challenge. And it has been said that when direct seeding rice technology will give some space time, and that's why farmers have a space time to manage paddy stubble. But what has happened, because farmers use both technology, and that's why they couldn't manage paddy stubble, means burning still has happened. And lastly, some DSR lack of knowledge, they have to shift again to traditional plantation. And this is story about during COVID-19 period. I was not aware what is happening now, but this still exercise is going on. This thing which I was telling you, and I just want to tell you, not only the technique that, but you just see the area irrigated by canals and tubewells in Punjab. If you will go through the values during 1980-81 to the value of blue figure, that is going down, and the tubewells started to going increase. It itself, I'm not going for the numbers, because this we have to see that the tube wells are have increased at a tremendous level. And the reason is what we know, that free electricity is one of the reason. And the stage of groundwater extraction, you just see the 2004 value, which is 145. This is from Central Groundwater Board data, and it has started to increase continuously. And if you will see the value, though the value has little decreased, but still in 2023 it is more than average, that is within 3 units, that is 163, which is more than enough. And if you will see the overexploited blocks, critical, semi-critical, and safe zone, you can see that it is a decreasing, but overexploiting blocks 53 to increase 114, means what is left? Nothing is left. Now Punjab is in a full. Earlier it is saying that only central zone. Now I cannot say that. And here I want to add one more picture before starting another point, The region where I am working at present, within 15 years, since I am working here 15 years, the cotton is the major crop, and now it is shifting to paddy, which I will speak in a next slide. Another thing, when I joined the Central University of Punjab, there was a Guru Nanak Dev thermal power plant, the oldest plant which gives electricity to everyone. It was in a big news that this thermal power plant is a reason of pollution or so many other things, and it is going to close. And I want to tell you, during that moment, when I am talking about near about 2011 or 12, Guru Nanak Dev thermal power plant and one Lehra Mohabbat thermal power plant, both are running. But at the same time, Talwandi Sabo thermal power plant, one Rajpura thermal power plant, and one Govindpura thermal power plant, means three thermal power plants land has acquired. Though Rajpura thermal power plant and Govindpura thermal power plant during that moment was not picturized, but what is the, because due to huge agitation, the Gobindpura thermal power plant couldn't materialize. What has happened? Why I want to tell you the story here? You can see the word change in cropping pattern. The Land Acquisition Act bill speaks that we need livelihood creation. The livelihood has no couldn't able to generate in such a manner, therefore farmers were forced to go for from cotton to paddy. The village where this thermal power plant was constructed, they got the compensation, they could able to purchase the tubes, and they found very easily to get or install tubes, and the area changed cotton to paddy. Because the any policy change demands that a solution should be there rather than we have to be crisis. And moreover, which I was telling you, the 80-kilometer arena, we acquire two more thermal power plants. It itself is a question mark, and everybody is aware of that. As compared to other regions of Punjab, Malwa is a more polluted area, and no cost on livelihood, because it was not a permanent livelihood. If I compare the Land Acquisition Act with others countries or other developed states, especially, the livelihood is important. It is said that employment to be generated, but I think rather than livelihood or employment, pollution has increased in that level. And if I will see the acquisition process, the compensation, people were not happy. The arable land was fertile. People have facing many social conflict. We are aware of that. The Jats need land for to get marriage, and so many all other issues are there. But the concern environmental degradation. We did development, but at the name of the environmental degradation. Again, which I want to stress here, the cotton belt, Malwa region, cancer belt. Malwa region known as cancer belt, known as cotton belt. And everybody is aware of that. It uses lot of pesticides. And the surprisingly, genetically modified crops also failure in 2015-16 and 2020 also. 15-16 white fly attack has happened, and 2018 pink bollworm attack has happened. Lot of farmer suicides happen. Though during that moment, government has directly announced compensation package. But here my question comes, if crop insurance was there, rather than giving directly compensation, we can insure their crops and even we can save the fertility of the land. And this is one of the major reason. You look into the figures of Bathinda and Bansa, how cotton crop reduction has happened, and now the area is becoming paddy and we are depleted, living in a depleted region. And the most surprising fact, when I was in the field survey of farmers, the farmers know these are the banned pesticides which are banned in USA, especially endosulfan that is used by the farmers. And these are free market, and government though impose ban for 3 months, but again renew will take a time, and that's why so many other administrative hurdles comes, and that's why farmers are not aware of that and they do. If I will speak on the science background, though I don't have that, we are aware of that many studies has happened, death due to taking pesticides, cancer existence in this region, and many reproductive abnormality, premature hair graying, and many other brain and other disorder happens. When I have seen earlier, I haven't worked on that, why I want to tell you these things, that if cotton crop failure has happened, so many agitations by the farmers in Bathinda has happened, because Bathinda and Mansa region are more suffered from cotton crop failure. Then I started to work on that. During that moment, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana 2016 has launched. Many state has applied, has registered into. Though many states have registered after that, and Kerala is one of the state which has not registered earlier, but it has registered after that. But Punjab has denied by saying that we are skewed irrigation state. We have a skewed cropping intensity state. Moreover, we are growing wheat and paddy. But now my question comes, when these floods have come, when this white fly attack has come, rather than Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana that they can do or cannot do, but at least state must have crop insurance farmer. Now we are talking about the agrarian distress. Why not we are thinking agrarian distress in the perspective of environmental distress? Can we think agrarian distress in terms of environmental degradation? Not only agriculture hampering, we are hampering even environment also. And nowadays our sustainable development goals, life below water, and so many other goals are there which want to say that find out the solution. I think we shouldn't delay. Whenever we are creating development agriculture, we should, I know that I even know many professors who are working greatly in Punjab Agriculture University. Whenever I go there, I feel happy that many professors are creating a lot of efforts, but question is that has to be reached to the farmers. Climate smart technology has to be established. Proper knowledge to the farmer communities is a big challenge, and we shouldn't forget that our farmers constitute majorly small and marginal farmers rather than large farmers. And though we have to target to that also, I feel that I will see the Punjab, that dream, which Punjab is that, means a big example of everyone. Punjab where nobody can be steered, nobody can be sleep in a hunger, and Punjab is that Punjab, and we will create, not only me, everybody will create Punjab as a food ball in the future also, by solving all these problems. Thank you very much. I think I have completed within a time.
Thank you, Professor Sandeep. That was very kind of you. I think it was a very extensive study and a fantastic study. Thanks for sharing it. Very rich. Let's move on to Professor Manu Sharma.
जी सर. Hmm. Uh, Thank you so much, Professor Charanjit Singh sir, for providing me this opportunity, and I feel privileged to be the part of this intelligentsia, and for that I thank Vikas for giving me this opportunity that I can be the part of this researchers group. Initially, I was skeptical or was somewhere uh, saying the unavailability of the dates and time, but finally, I got a chance to be the part of all that research scholars and the uh, my fellow colleagues, and I got an opportunity to listen Professor Sandeep. So today, the topic which I will be discussing is about the social issues and concerns of Punjab. As Professor Sandeep has rightly shared and discussed the views about the water level, how it is depleting, and what are the agriculture related crises which Punjab is facing. I also jotted down certain problems which Punjab has been going previously and it is still now going on. Agrarian crisis is one of the important issue. Depleting groundwater is another thing. Farmer suicides, which Madam has created, environmental degradation, and all. Even certain social and cultural issues, which are also need the uh, prompt attention to the researchers and the policymakers are here. As Professor Charanjit Singh has said, that is a nightmare. Nightmare is really a word which I consider ki, yes, Punjab is going through numerous types of changes and upheavals, be it in the political front or economic front or social or cultural front, which presents a gloomy picture about Punjab. Is there any ray of hope? Yes. And that ray of hope lies in the hands of our youth, the generation. But again, there is a question mark how that youth is going to participate in that, you can say, the developmental process of Punjab. When there are two important issues which need prompt attention, the one is the migration, second is the conversion. Migration, as well as the conversion, I will take first the migration. From migration, I mean when a person is shifting from one place to another for certain period of time or permanently, or it is a voluntary movement, objectives may differ, but majorly the migration which is going on today in Punjab, it had economic reasons, it had social reasons, cultural and psychological also. It has great impact on all these aspects of life of the people whenever somebody migrate to some other persons. You can say some new land for some greener pastures things. The India as a country, the migration is mostly influenced with certain economic as well as social structure and certain pattern of development was also being followed into it. When Punjab we consider, historically, I will say that migration has taken place even at the time of ancient India, when we were see that when foreigners who came to India and Indians also, especially the land of Punjab, the Aryabrat, they also visited abroad for certain academic purposes, or certain campaigns were also there. But nowadays, the migration, the pattern which has been seen in Punjab is typically in Doaba region. Doaba region, we say this is a belt where most of the people, the youth, they are going abroad. In Doaba region, I would say there are namely four districts. It is Kapurthala, it is Hoshiarpur, it is Jalandhar, and Shaheed Bhagat Singh Nagar, previously Nawashahar. So these are certain districts in Punjab where have a long history of migration we have seen, and the youth is going, especially in the post-independence area. Initially, majority of the people who are going to these going abroad from these areas, earlier they prefer to go to UK, or gradually the skilled and semi-skilled people are also migrating to these countries. Later on, the shift has been changed and people started going to the countries such as USA, United States of America, Canada, and Australia. Now, the reason being why the Punjabi youth are going abroad, for economic aspect, for educational aspect, and they are using various types of ways and methods to reach in a foreign land. The various agencies are also working for that, especially whether it is legal or illegal, through donkey routes they are also going. And these donkey routes are sometimes cost at the level of their life. We have heard the Malta Kand in Punjab also, where बहुत सारे पंजाबीज जो थे, they lost their life, and that was the loss which is still not covered by the family members, those who have sent their young sons and daughters abroad. Whatever the reason is there, the common factor among all types of migration is that immigrants try to send money to their family, so money matters. But the thing is कि पंजाबीज क्यों प्रेफर कर रहे हैं बाहर जाने के लिए, रीजन बीइंग कि here in Punjab they are not finding the proper job opportunities, or jobs are not created, or social fabric is changing so widely that to uplift their social status they need to go to some countries ki apna social status hum uplift karenge, or the caste identity is also playing an important role. Why so? Because money, or you can say if you earn more wealth, then maybe your social status is going to change. आपकी समाज में इज्जत बन जाएगी, you have going to recognized by your people, the community, and you will have your own identity. Whatever the money they are earning and they are sending here, that played a very important role. The reason being, that is the most important thing, कि different types of you can say way have been used by the Punjabi youth for migrating. This is the international type of migration which they are using. I'll talk about the national migration. The two factors which are working here, the push and pull. The important part is the origin country from where the Punjabi youth are moving. The basic part, that the employment opportunities, the lack of resources here. Thirdly, they are not aware of about that what kind of skills they do need here in India or in Punjab, so that to be utilized in a way so that they can come up with certain kind of job opportunities where they are going. So if they're not getting those jobs abroad, so what they're doing the minimum work, menial work. What is going on in Canada nowadays on the name of study visas? There are mushrooming of these agents, and what they are doing, they are just earning the money, hard earned money, from the you can say students or from the parents, just to send them outside. So it is also a kind of brain drain which Punjab is also facing. The youth of Punjab, who is going to create? We say that Punjab need a rapid change. Who is going to change? The youth. But when there is no youth, और रैपिडली दे आर माइग्रेटिंग अब्रॉड। जितनी तेजी से पंजाब का यूथ बाहर जा रहा है, यदि वो यूथ हिंदुस्तान में या पंजाब में रह
हाँ
करके
सुशील कुमार।
अपनी ही कंट्री के लिए काम नहीं करेगा, इतनी तेजी
हाँ
से यदि
बताओ।
वो ब्रेन ड्रेन होना जारी रहा, तो हु विल वर्क फॉर दैट?
कौन
I
चाह
I
रहे
was
हैं?
just going through the topic and I just come across with
कहाँ?
some with a study which has taken place. There was some
कब तक आ जाएंगे?
375 samples household have taken as a sample, जिसमें से I think there are 15 villages. उन 15 villages के जो sample
तो ये
size
नहीं
लिए
बताएं
उन्होंने,
कितनी देर
उसमें
तक आ जाएंगे?
375 household have been selected in Jalandhar as well as Shahid Bhagat Singh Nagar. And
अच्छा।
there, in total, 579 families sent the NRIs. But it means that 579
देखते
total
हैं देखते
NRIs
हैं
have been migrated from these 375 household. And
देखते हैं देखते हैं।
reason being, they had their own income, they had their own homes, but it is observed that the ratio of male and female who are going abroad, the male members are more in numbers while leaving their families, and the dependent family members is almost in all the district. It means the family members are left here, and one or two, or like the male members, those who are going abroad, they earn the money and they send it. For example, uh, the country's preferences were like United States of America, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. These are the developed countries which has been chosen by the skilled persons, and the other classes like OBCs or SCs, they prefer to go to the UK, European, or the Gulf countries just for some job opportunities over there. The main reason why they are doing so, because developed countries have more complicated visas, you can say, system, or they had you can say higher number of you can say the visa fees and other expenditure which they can't afford. But the other ones, they can afford those kind of things. But now here, the skilled and the semi-skilled labor is also divided in that part. Economic reason is basically the important factor which you can say compel these youth to move abroad, because they find there are more opportunities for them to work. There are more better jobs, there are better wages in the destination country where they wish to go. Overpopulation, the another reason, and the few job opportunities here and the low wages, because in day-to-day life we see the if the youth, those who are working in this area, in these districts, the what kind of job opportunities they have if they are not skilled, the driving kind of a thing. And in foreign countries, drivers are going to give, they have to earn, or they are earning some good amount. वो यहाँ पर पंजाबी यूथ कंसिडर कि ओके यहाँ पर तो जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज है ही नहीं, और इसमें कुछ झूठ नहीं है, इसमें कुछ झूठ नहीं है. Yes, the lack of job opportunities are also the push factor or the pull factor which compels them to okay कि वहां जाएंगे तो वहां कुछ ना कुछ काम मिल जाएगा, and they will earn that money in dollars or pounds or euros, which they find it easy to send it to their own homeland. Active religious oppression, political instability, there are many factors which are responsible for this. And you can say sometime you can say political instability, and the youth those who are just finding themselves in a dilemma what to do or not to do, and mushrooming of the IELTS center. Plus इसमें ऐड हो जाती है कि okay, if you will get married to some NRI, you are going to get the citizenship, and that citizenship will get you certain kind of greener pastures opportunities, and you will be settled in the life. उनको ये लगता है कि फॉरेन जाएंगे, वहां पर पैसा कमाएंगे, and then life will be settled. That is not the case. But the thing is, it's far difficult for them. But उनको लगता है कि that is easy, rather than यहाँ पर मेहनत करके जो हम करेंगे, यहाँ पर इन्वेस्ट करके जो हम करेंगे, that is more difficult. Why? Because यहाँ पर competition बहुत है, यहाँ पर करप्शन बहुत है, यहाँ पर पॉलिटिसाइजेशन ऑफ रिलीजन बहुत है, अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं मिलेंगी, जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं मिलेंगी. और यदि अपनी स्टेट में जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं है, और उसके लिए वी आर लीविंग दिस स्टेट, और इंडिया के किसी स्टेट में जाकर जो काम करना है, तो बेटर है कि उससे दूर ही जाना है, तो क्यों ना वी विल प्रेफर टू गो अब्रॉड. तो हम इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे जाकर के अपने आप को वहां पर सेटल करने की कोशिश करेंगे. वी शुड गिव अ चांस ओवर दिस. So that is there. And apart from that, there are certain religious patience, attractive environment. अब जैसे for example, though it is a sensitive issue, but मैं ये quote नहीं कर रही. I have also read it from somewhere else कि certain religious conversions are made on the basis कि okay, when they are put into certain kind of religious stream, so they have brighter chances to go abroad. they have more good chances कि okay उनको they will call and they will settle over there. They had their own community over there. तो कहीं ना कहीं कन्वर्जन के लिए भी ये चीजें कहीं ना कहीं रिस्पॉन्सिबल होती हैं. तो ये तो थी एक इंटरनेशनल माइग्रेशन की बात, जहां पर चाहे लड़के हैं चाहे लड़कियां हैं, वेदर यूथ, वेदर द बॉयज एंड द गर्ल्स बोथ आर गोइंग. और एनआरआई मैरिजेस को लेकर के दे हैव क्रिएटेड काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग कि मैरिज करके वहां पे जाना और सेटल हो जाना, दैट इज अ वेरी गुड थिंग. बट उसके लिए भी आई वुड जस्ट वांट टू ऐड वन मोर थिंग कि फेक एनआरआई मैरिजेस आर गोइंग ऑन, फेक सर्टिफिकेट्स आर बीइंग मेड, जहां पर इसमें भी एक कहते हैं ना आ जाके करप्शन जो है, या जो फेक मैरिजेस के बेसिस पे जो एनआरआईज कर रहे हैं इंडियन ब्राइड्स के साथ या इंडियन ग्रूम्स के साथ, और आइल्स सेंटर को लेकर के जो उन्होंने कमर्शलाइजेशन कर दिया है, that played a very crucial role. So government should look towards these things, or somebody should come forward, some organization, certain kind of awareness campaigns should be there, just कि लोगों को बताया जा सके कि यहाँ पर किस तरीके से आप अपने आप को स्टैंड अप कर सकते हो, सर्टन स्टार्टअप स्टार्ट कर सकते हो, सर्टन स्किल्स और सेमी स्किल्स प्रोग्राम आपको कर सकते हैं. बाहर जाना, माइग्रेट करना इज नॉट अ बैड थिंग. यस, everybody wants a good life, but there should be certain you can say certain factors, certain kind of training, certain kind of awareness, certain kind of investment, which our youth should be taken into consideration before taking this step. Then come up with the another issue, the national migration. पंजाब में जब मैं बात करती हूँ तो माइग्रेशन जो पंजाब में बाहर से आ रहे हैं, तो पंजाब में जो माइग्रेंट्स बाहर से आ रहे हैं, उनमें आने वालों में बहुत सारे जो हैं दे कम अप एज अ लेबर माइग्रेशन. लेबर माइग्रेशन बिकॉज अब ये उस तरह का सिस्टम नहीं है कि जहां हम कहते थे कि वो जाट जो किसान पहले अपने खेतों में हल जोतता था, खुद मेहनत करता था. नाउ द किसान or the farmers, despite of all the challenges they are facing, he himself is not investing that much manpower. Why? Because manpower has migrated. जो उसके अपने घर की मैन पावर है उसमें से तो वो इंटरनेशनल माइग्रेशन के लिए चले गए. बट व्हाट अबाउट दोज पीपल, दोज हु आर लेफ्ट बिहाइंड विद देयर लैंड व्हाटसोएवर दे हैव, या जो उन्होंने लीज पे ली है जिस भी तरह से, वहां पर काम करने के लिए बंदे कहां से आएंगे? वहां पे काम करने के लिए फ्रॉम वेयर ही इज गोइंग टू फाइंड द हैंड्स, है ना? उसके लिए क्या हो रहा है कि अपने घर के घर में नहीं है, दूसरों को उसे बुलाना पड़ रहा है, विच इज गोइंग टू एनकरेज द नेशनल माइग्रेशन. सो वो माइग्रेट कहां से आ रहे हैं? दे आर कमिंग फ्रॉम यूपी एंड बिहार. तो आज का पंजाब का किसान यदि बोले कि अपने खेत में खुद हल चला के काम कर ले, तो मैंने ऐसी पिक्चर नहीं देखी, क्योंकि जिसने करना था वो तो माइग्रेट करके बाहर चले गए टू सेटल इन सम फॉरेन कंट्री. और इसके लिए जो यहाँ के किसान को है, ही इज डिपेंडिंग अपॉन सम लेबर विच हैज बीन माइग्रेटेड, जो माइग्रेट होके कहाँ से आ रही है? यूपी या बिहार से आ रही है. तो
Professor, Professor Manu, you will have to be brief because we are already at 5:53 and you have yet to touch conversion.
okay sir,
You
okay.
are, I know good researchers are very emotional about their research and get carried away. And this topic, of course, is a very emotional topic, but we are badly running out of time.
Okay,
So
sir,
my
thank you.
request is, yes.
Sure, I'll be taking care of it. So the national migration, as I have put up, so that is one of the important factor from the national migrant workers, those who are migrating to India. So the another one which I want to touch, the religious conversions in Punjab. So Punjab में भी धर्म के नाम पर, religion के नाम पर, because धर्म एक हर व्यक्ति का अपना एक व्यक्तिगत एक मत है, जिसको भी चाहे वो मान सकता है. लेकिन धर्म के नाम पर यदि हम किसी भी व्यक्ति को एल्योर करके, किसी को भी भ्रांत फैला करके यदि उसको अपने धर्म में हम लेके आए, तो दैट काइंड ऑफ कन्वर्जन नाउ हैज टेकन बिग टोल ऑन पंजाब्स लैंड. जिसमें सबसे पहले मतलब माझा एरिया जो है, उसमें मैं 3 डिस्ट्रिक्ट के नाम लूंगी जितना कि मैंने रिपोर्ट्स में पढ़ा है. तरन तारण, अमृतसर एंड गुरदासपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट बेल्ट में देयर इज एनॉर्मस रिलीजियस कन्वर्जन व्हिच हैज बीन टेकिंग प्लेस. In terms of Christianity, I would say in 2011 में जब census हुआ था, that time 1.26% population of Christians in Punjab was there. It was 3,48,000 somewhere. तरन तारण डिस्ट्रिक्ट अलोन में 2011 में जो पॉपुलेशन 6,000 के अराउंड थी, वो 2021 में आकर के डबल से भी ज्यादा हो गई है. So that is the issue, which is a growth rate of 102% growth rate was there. Then Gurdaspur is also increased 4 lakh. that within the last 5 years, and report by Ravi Dhaliwal, which has been published in the Tribune also, इसके causes क्या है? पंजाब में इतना रिलीजियस कन्वर्जन क्यों हो रहा है? क्या हम अपने धर्म से खुश नहीं है? क्या हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे धर्म में वो बात नहीं है? तो धर्म इज नॉट समथिंग, इट इज अ बिलीफ सिस्टम, इट इज यू कैन से द वे ऑफ लाइफ, but the practices what we are doing, they have taken the shape of a religion. Different causes are there. The first and prominent reason for the conversion in Punjab is the caste discrimination on the basis of caste. बहुत सारी डिस्क्रिमिनेशन की जाती हैं लोअर क्लासेस को, और जब भी कभी कन्वर्जन होगी, रेयरेस्ट ऑफ द रेयर केसेस में हम बोलते हैं द अपर स्ट्रेटा इज गोइंग टू कन्वर्ट. It is always the lower strata which is being discriminated in the society is going to look after certain kind of social upliftment in the society, and they are the ones, those who are fed up from these caste discrimination, जिसमें especially the Dalit Sikhs, I would say, just to escape that caste discrimination or to uplift their status, they are converting and moving towards a new belief system, जिसमें अब SC Sikhs and SC Hindus are also there, not only the Dalit Sikhs, they are also converting due to the promises which has been taken by them, जिसमें certain miraculous things are going to happen or miraculous cures are going to be cure their diseases. That is also one of the important reason, because I'm taking the what are the factors which is going to contribute for this conversion. The another one is social inequality. सोशल फैब्रिक में इनइक्वालिटी है, लाइक सिख गुरुद्वाराज हैं या मंदिर हैं, तो उसमें ये मजहबी का अलग है या अधर्मियों का अलग है, दे आर नॉट अलाउड टू एंटर इन दोज गुरुद्वारा, तो समवेयर इट हर्ट देयर सेंटिमेंट, दैट इज व्हाई दैट इज आल्सो द हैव बिकम अ प्रोमिनेंट रीजन दैट दे आर शिफ्टिंग देयर, यू कैन से रिलीजियस कन्वर्जन की तरफ दे आर अट्रैक्टिंग. मोर ओवर द गवर्नमेंट बेनिफिट्स, because उनको ये लगता है कि now the people those who are converting to Christianity, but they are not losing their identity from the certificates में वही है, but why so? Because government benefits उनको लेने, but religious conversion वो इसलिए इस basis पर they are doing it. Then certain social restrictions are also imposed, जैसे मैंने अभी बताया, I have given the example of certain religious structures were not allowed. In same village there are 3 or 4 similar religious structures which we can see. तो ये क्यों है? Because certain kind of equalities and restrictions are there. जी ये इनका temple है, ये इनका church है, ये इनका है, तो we are not allowed to enter. तो that is why we have done what, कि हमने अपना एक अलग से structure बना दिया. तो people now have I think frustrated from that kind of discrimination. That is why they are being attracted by, or they are being lured by these kind of propagatory missionaries to enter into that. And certain allurements are also there, because by paying money or by your children will be going to have the free of cost education, you will be given certain kind of benefits. So there are many things which paved a way for certain kind of religious conversions in Punjab, and certain of it is the conversion for the convenience. Last point I would say, it is the conversion for the convenience. Why? Because it is very convenient for them, because you don't have to give up anything, you don't have to invest anything. You, rather than, if you are converting, if you are going through that phase, they are going to take you from the both the hands in you. So who is going to check it? It is the duty of every one of us to open your eyes and minds and think before stepping out from our own, you can say, phase, whether we are doing justice with it or not, whether it is a politics of convenience, or what kind of messages we are going to deliver to our future generations to come while converting our belief system. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Manu. Very, very sensitive issues, both of them. And there could be return migration taking place. But let me now move on, because we are badly out of time, and both of the professors have done good research and shared with us. Now let me move on to Professor Indraveer Singh. Professor.
Thank you so much. Am I audible?
You are.
Yes. Let me share my screen. And so first of all, good evening, everyone. And I'm sorry that my presentation will not be as I think structured as the previous speaker. And since I had some data and some things which I have been looking at, and I wanted to share those. It may not be structured, but I think they had talked about a lot, and I wanted to discuss some aspects of those in this presentation, touch on those. So I'll may share and start. Okay, so we have some things like if you look at Punjab, uh, one thing which I think everyone discuss about is that we used to be a number one state in per capita income. Now we are in the middle. We have a number of states which has surpassed us. It's because we are still depending a lot on agriculture. We are unable to attract industry and service sector, which could contribute to our economy. Even though our neighbor Haryana has could do it. For example, if you look at per capita income, Haryana is third, and its average per capita income is about 1.7 lakh compared to Punjab's 1.2 lakh. It doesn't mean that we are not but if you go around in Punjab, you will see that people are spending. You will see in shopping malls and people carrying this iPhone or other wearing expensive clothes. So what's happening is that as the previous speaker has pointed out, we have a lot of migration. So what happened is that we still have the significantly large per capita expenditure. So periodic labor force survey in 2023-24 shows that average household per person expenditure is around 5,000 in urban area and 3.4 thousand in rural areas, and it's among the highest. You can compare in case of urban only Maharashtra is equal, and in only and this in case of rural areas, Kerala is a little ahead. Kerala is again the only, I think, also if you may know that uh, they have a huge large share of their population, migrant population, and they mostly maybe going to Gulf countries, and they're come getting remittances, and that is the possible major reason that they have high per capita expenditure. But the question remains that whether this is sustainable. See, this money which we are getting as a remittance who are going abroad, it cannot be a unlimited or long-term unlimited source. It's not unlimited sources, and it's not a long-term solution. And it may create big malls and cover those expenditures for the time being, but in long run we need to get into production activities like industry and service sector, which we are producing. Now, if you look at this product, not only this expenditure side, but in many other aspects, we are like when we think about this economy is changing a lot, and we say that of course our industry is not coming, other places it's coming, but are we ready for these new changes? We have a artificial intelligence which is coming up, and recently there is a survey done in a annual survey on education on education in rural areas. So they have in case of Punjab, they have selected SAS Nagar, Mohali, which we generally call it. So in rural areas, of course, it's a rural area, but it gives an indicator like it's one of the most developed areas. I'm not talking about Mansa, Bathinda, or that belt which is generally considered to be lagging in terms of education. But this, if you look at this, only still 12, we are 11% of they are actually, this is a survey which covers children from 14 to 18 years. So I have taken data for 17, 18 years. So adults between 17 to 18 years old adults, among them 11% cannot read even a standard second standard level text, and I'm talking about Punjabi. They cannot read Punjabi, and they can around 42% cannot divide. 92% of course they can read English, mostly I think because we have Facebook, WhatsApp, so they can make sense of it, and many wanted to go abroad, so it's possibly that. But if you look at mathematical skills, like calculating time, adding weights, or measuring length, or then or some manage budget, apply discount, and calculate repayments, they are doing really badly, and almost 50% of the youth, it despite our efforts, they lack in these skills. And on health, and I'm sorry, actually, I've taken this thing. I have a because this is a recent data, literacy rate, etc. They are very old data, 2011. We have last census, and so this is I think give a better picture. May not be urban area, may not be included, but we may still think that okay, still we have around 70% of the population in rural areas. So that's cover that. Then infant mortality rate, and again, Punjab is doing not well. We consider Kerala. Kerala infant mortality rate is just 6 compared to 18 in Punjab. Some states, of course, are doing worse than Punjab, but in many states are still doing much better. Maharashtra, for example, Tamil Nadu, Kerala definitely, and Himachal Pradesh, Jammu Kashmir. The difference is relatively small, but that if you think about expenditure, the nature of expenditure, that now we have the most we have the highest spending among all the states, we should be expecting that we will be doing better in terms of education and at least health. Anemia, we have a high in the it's 71% of the children between 16 to 59 months. That means 6 months to and below 5 year. They are anemic, and we are not doing that well as we should be doing here to either. When it comes to workforce. Again, 15 years and above among age group males, their workforce participation recently has increased both male and female and urban and rural area, but it has been increasing in India, and there are indicators that this it's showing that it could be largely because of distress, especially female literacy rate. But if you look at, we still, especially in case of rural area, we are doing worse than all India. And especially for in case of female, in India, in 2023-24, 47%, around 47% of the women were in workforce compared to 33% in Punjab. Same in urban areas, females, only 22.5% of the females were in workforce compared to 26% in India. And we have a high unemployment rate. Okay, that's compared to India, we are seeing a significantly higher unemployment rate in 2023-24. Males, in case our rural area, the unemployment rates is 5.1 compared to all India level of 2.7. In among females, 6.2, and compared to female in all India of 2.1. Now, one thing which it sees that yeah, their youth is wants to work, but what happen is we work generally. We have seen that that work happens when you get remunerative opportunities, better opportunities, or there is a distress. Okay, uh, and it seems that Punjab could not create those opportunities for their its youth. And as a previous speaker has pointed out, we are seeing this migration is a big major phenomena that is happening, and it talked about. In fact, this earlier it was mostly limited to the Doaba region, which the speaker has pointed out. But now even in Malwa region, it's the same trend has started. For example, I am from Bathinda Mansa region, and out of the 17 cousins, my cousins, 8 are now abroad. So that's you can think of that. It's going to be a big issue in Malwa too. And that's because we are Punjab government or Punjab they have failed to create those opportunities. As I previously discussed that mostly we are getting this money from abroad, remittance from abroad, but we are unable could not actually convert that into investment. Mostly this is leading to a higher expenditure. Again, what and if you look at like when I see that Punjab is not doing good, okay, so then naturally comes that whether Punjab government is doing enough or not. Now this is a expenditure on education as a share of total budget, okay. If you look at Punjab only spend around 9% of its budget on education, and almost everyone, all the states, okay, except Telangana, all states are doing better than Punjab. Then trend in if you look at trend in education expenditure, you will see that it had an increase. Punjab was doing worse than India since 2007 8. Even before that, it has been continuously doing worse than all state other states, all India level. And actually, this is the data, not India's data, Indian government, but it's all states, their and duties, their total expenditure on education. And in between 2010-11 to 15-16, we had some increase, and we were closing the gap. But again, to 16-17 onwards, we are looking at is a decline in the share of education expenditure in the budget, budget allocated to the education. Uh, Expenditure on health, we are again doing very bad. In 2024-25, we spent only 3.2% of our budget on health. And everyone, like all states, all major states, basically not all states, all major states have done better than us. That in that case. And in long run, we again 2010-11 to 14-15, that we were actually had a were doing better again, and we start this expenditure start declining, and then it's again around 3.2% compared to recently compared to 5.6% average spending by the other states. If you look at development expenditure, of course, as a share of GDP, that we are doing a little better, and we will you'd see that we are comparable to many other states and doing little better than some of the states. In fact, Kerala spends only 6.8% of their GSDP on as share of GSDP, that development expenditure. So, yes, development expenditure by government. But if total budget share, if you divide in development expenditure and non-development expenditure, this is just a 55.1%. Kerala, of course, it's less than compared to Punjab, but all other states are doing better than Punjab. So our budget, most of our 45% of budget goes to non-development, is constituted non-development expenditure. In capital outlay, again, we are worse among out of these states. We are among major states. We spend only 0.9% of the GSDP. Our capital outlay was just 0.9% of the GSDP, and all other states are doing much better than in Punjab. And if you look at that, we have seen that development expenditure is quite high. And but what happening that how we are spending as a share of budget, we are spending less, but overall as a share of GSDP, we are spending still comparatively fine, a little higher than we expect than some of the states like Kerala and then Gujarat and so on. However, if you look at how we are spending this, mostly these is a result of we are borrowing. And what happened is that we keep on increasing our debt. Okay, Punjab keep on increasing its total debt, and And that it's not like entirely it's going to development expenditure, but it goes to both development and non-development expenditure, because still we are spending a smaller share of the budget goes to the development expenditure. And as a result, we have the highest total outstanding liability as a share of GSTP among all these states. Only again, second is Himachal Pradesh, but they are very different situation here. And rest of the states, they are doing much better. So we are not only not we are not spending enough on education, health, or overall as on development, but also we are spending in a way that we are have accumulating more debt. And if you like total debt outstanding, uh, again it keeps it have kept it's keeping it's increasing over the years. It was actually decreasing till 2014, but after 2014 it again surged. And and especially, and then you look at some of the surges. If you look, it is like 2017, then the surge happened into 2021. And once you have a significant increase in actually total liabilities, this then these total liabilities they don't actually come down. And mostly this has happened close to the election years. Okay, so during just before election year, you spend a lot of this money, of course, goes to maybe going to development expenditure, but again, that may be spending in a way which may actually not going to education or health, where priority should be lying. And this is a that causing this situation where uh, we are our liabilities are increasing, our interest payments are increasing as in the budget are increasing. And but we are not actually spending on services or common, or we are not investing to create long run growth. So this is one of the biggest challenges I feel that Punjab is facing, to how to uh, bring this how to create those opportunities for youth where they can be employed. Second, how to actually create a situation where put actually some pressure on government, or create political situation or debates where expenditure on education and health could be increased. And remember that the present government actually was talked about education and health, but again this data shows that the situation has not improved as we many of us would have hoped it will. So this is my argument, and thank you. And
Thank you very much. Three of you have done a wonderful job. I must thank each one of you. I'm happy to take a question or two. We are already exceeded our stipulated time. I just wanted to check with you, Vikas. Is the recording available of this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Regarding available. Yes, sir.
So I would like you to please share the recording with me.
Sure,
I'm
sir.
so
Sir.
happy that this such good research has been presented, such issues have been discussed. So whenever possible, please share with me.
Yes, sure,
And
sir.
I'll
Yesterday,
and
sir,
I'll
we had discussed about the Punjabi politics, sir, and we have invited for this lecture five professors from the Punjab, sir. One Professor Singh, Professor Runki Ram, Professor Kuldeep Singh, sir, and Professor Astos Kumar, sir. So they had discussed about the rethinking Punjabi politics, sir. So I will also share to you, sir, this lecture.
please.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be happy to have this. I want to share with some policymakers in Chandigarh.
Yes.
So let them hear the discussion today. Very good discussion. All right. So should we have a question or two? Anybody who will raise a hand? Arpan Preet, has anybody raised a hand?
So previously Anandi has raised hand.
Preet
Okay.
Kamal want
Preet
to
Kamal has
ask
also
something.
raised hand. Even I
Yes.
have
O-
a question. So let's first give chance to Preet Kamal.
Ji, ji.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening to all.
Yeah.
My question is for Professor Manu. Ma'am, actually, when we deal with the issue of convergence, we have seen that in Punjab, most of the big these missionary institutions, they are working like the previous deras used to do. Whether it's a Sirsa Dera or a Radhaswamy Dera. So can we see, that they are in a much contrast to the like the Catholic institutions work. So can we see that it is a continuation of that? When we talk about that, most of the whether it's because of discrimination on the basis of caste, because in most of the deras we have seen, though the majority of the population it is based upon, it is the lower strata as you have talked, but also from the upper classes as well. And ma'am, my second question is that when it's again on the issue of conversion, that the dispute which comes in the cases of conversion is actually during the last rites of the person. you know uh, in most of the newspapers we have seen a number of cases where there had been a number of cases of disputes about performing the last rites of a person, whether according to the Christian practices or from their previous religion. So ma'am, are we looking at a demographic change in the identity of the Punjabis, or they are still linked to the Punjabiyat as we call? Thank you, ma'am.
Let me collect all the questions and then we will go to the speakers. So who's the next speaker? Who's the next person asking a question, please?
Sir, may I?
Yeah, please.
So my question actually came, it struck to my mind after Sandeep ma'am's presentation, but I would be happy if anyone can answer it. My question is regarding the crop diversification, like given the current issue of farmer agitation and farmer politics, which has emerged to the mainstream in Punjab's political scenario, and the debates, of course, on MSP and all, and then the budget, the Pulse mission. So, how we locate, where we locate the current, where in the current scenario, where we locate the prospects for crop diversification when we deal with the water stress. This is my question.
Good. That's very good, Arpan. Now, there was a third person you said had raised a hand.
So, Anandi, if you have a question, you can either write on in chat box or you can just ask directly.
If Anandi is here, she can ask. Anandi, is she there? Actually, I don't see her. Has she left? Ah, yeah, Anandi is there. Anandi, can you ask your question? Okay. While Anandi is making up her mind.
Sir, may I ask a question?
Yeah, okay, just Karan, go ahead.
So my question is to Professor Inderveer. Professor, when we see the case of Punjab, as you have elaborated that Punjab is getting worse in case of whether it is a state finance, whether it is gender equity, and the situation of agriculture sector. Do you not think most of the economists for the long time we are missing the identification of the mode of production in Punjab? Like similarly, in India, the state economy was growing up to 2000, but we have not shifted from agriculture to non-agriculture sector, and now the grow there is a impasse occurred in the state's growth, but still we are dependent on agriculture sector. When we see the one fourth of GDP and the one fourth of employability, still we are depending on agriculture sector, and still like we don't have the industry, we don't have such kind of like a service sector, vibrant service sector also. Do you think that we are missing some kind of contradictions in the economic system of Punjab? Like definitely we have the data, that data is revealing everything, but the thing is that like there are many non-economic factors also which are influencing Punjab economy. Do you think that we are missing for somehow? Thank you.
I think everybody has one question each. So I'll follow the reverse order and I'm going to request the professors. I know I have been a professor myself, and these questions are very, very interesting. So as professors, we like to go lots in detail, but I'm going to request each one of you to be very brief so that we can close by 6:30. So I'll start with you, Professor Indraveer. Then I'll come to Professor Manu Sharma, and then I'll come to Professor Sandeep. 2 minutes each, please.
Okay, I think you are right that we have still not worked out. We don't have a plan, and many of my discussions actually with many other economists or other experts, I think I have also they come up the same thing that see the problem is then we have a large agriculture sector. By the way, we don't employ our employment in agriculture or a share of a workforce in agriculture is less than all India. But uh, but the problem is that see Punjab is not we don't have sea. We are not close to a major city. One of the way we can actually incentivize industry to set up here is finding some strengths. Okay, we have strength in terms of we are agriculture productivity is much higher than all India. We still have many other strengths. For example, I think entrepreneurship in terms of trying many things as a Professor Sandeep has shown in terms comes to agriculture equipments we have that. However, our government has failed to actually somehow tap on that kind of opportunity, and a lot of it is like we result of they are not this institutional reason which I say. See, I think we need institutional reforms. We need legal reforms in India. We need police reforms. Again, we need a lot of this ease of doing business. And we need single window clearance. And many of these are actually steps could have been taken in at the Punjab level. The problem is in Punjab, they face the same kind of uncertainties which they face in less developed states. In case of other states, they are doing much better because they actually convince the industry that they don't have that kind of uncertainties. I'll give you an example. I'm sorry if I'm taking a little longer. In case of Tamil Nadu, so I was reading or listening to this recently. Tamil Nadu had a Ford. Okay, they have plant of Ford, and Ford a few years back they said that we are exiting India, and Tamil Nadu government, instead of saying that how can you do it, they facilitate that exit. Okay, so again after a few days later when they again decided, okay, as a part of our global strategies we want to set up a plant in developing country, emerging country, and then they chose Tamil Nadu. One of the reason is that we will need to create trust, and those institutions if you there are mostly informal talk, but if you listen to those informal talks were unable to do it, and that I think is the reason that this is not happening, and a lot of these small and small and marginal sort of small and micro and small actually firms could actually do better if we can actually ease the this is their requirements that how they get their permissions, etc. In normal cases, sometimes it takes 2 years to get a permission for. One of my actually known person, he got took I think 1.5 year to get permission for this for a factory for an animal feed. Even though he had all the links, his father was a superintendent in DC office and or other things. So this is I think major problem that we have to create incentive which other states could not do it.
Thank you, Professor Manu.
Ji, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to answer the question. So, Preet Kamal, your question was that our deras are working as the missionary is the first question, right? And second is about the last rites which was performed. So the answer will be on the basis of my observation. So whatever I observe is like deras are not going to convert somebody's belief or somebody's social structure, somebody's religious identity, as far as my observation is concerned. उसमें क्या है कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल यदि मैं किसी एक डेरा का नाम कोट किए बिना यदि कहीं कहूँ तो दे आर फॉलोइंग द लीनियज ऑफ गुरुशिप, है ना, वहां पर किसी एक गुरु परंपरा को दे आर फॉलोइंग। और यार लाइक बोलते हैं ना नामदान दे दिया आपको, नाउ यू हैव टू रिसाइट दैट नेम, फाइन। सो दैट इज द वन थिंग। एंड सेकेंडली कि उनके जितने भी कल्चरल और रिलीजियस फेस्टिवल्स हैं मतलब हमारे इंडियन सोसाइटी में या इस सोसाइटी में, तो दे आर द सेम थिंग। But what missionaries are doing, they are not similar on the line of deras. What they are doing, they are baptizing. They are entirely changing your पर्सनैलिटी तो नहीं बोलूंगी मैं, दे आर चेंजिंग योर बिलीफ सिस्टम। मतलब द बिलीफ सिस्टम वेयर आई एम born and brought up, once you have perceived me when or you embrace me into you, my entire thinking process is going to change. It means the customs, the beliefs or the things which I have done वो मेरा सारा चेंज हो गया। उसके रीजंस कोई भी हो सकते हैं, मेरे अपने पर्सनल रीजन हो सकते हैं, मेरी अपनी कोई लाइक फिजिकल और मेंटल चैलेंजेस आर देयर जिसके लिए द पीपल आर गेटिंग बैप्टाइज्ड, और सोशल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन जैसे कि मैंने बोला। लेकिन डेराज में इस तरह की बात मेरी ऑब्जर्वेशन में मुझे नहीं लगी। तो डेराज का जो रोल है और जो मिशनरीज कर रहे हैं, दे आर टू डिफरेंट थिंग। दिस इज माई ऑब्जर्वेशन। सेकेंडली जो लास्ट राइट्स की बात है, अब एक एग्जाम्पल कोट करूंगी। जब व्हेन आई वाज गोइंग थ्रू ऑल दीज रिलीजियस कन्वर्जन रिलेटेड रिपोर्ट्स, उसमें एक जट सिख फैमिली थी। उसमें व्हाट दैट लेडी वाज सेइंग कि देयर वाज सर्टेन काइंड ऑफ फिजिकल एलिमेंट्स एंड द मिशनरीज चर्च में शी स्टार्टेड गोइंग ऑन, बिकॉज उनकी भी डिफरेंट डिफरेंट चर्चेस है ना, कोई कैथलिक्स है, कोई प्रोटेस्टेंट्स ने है, कोई मतलब उनके अपने अपने हैं, कोई डायोसिस को फॉलो कर रहे हैं, उनके कोई अपने मिशनरीज ग्रुप है। तो कहती जब उसने जाना स्टार्ट किया तो उसकी वो फिजिकल एलिमेंट दूर हो गई, हमने बड़ी मेडिसिन खाई एंड देयर वाज नो क्योर ऑफ दिस। सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट that couple and the family, the nuclear family, they got changed or they converted. but अब क्या है कि वो सिर्फ एक जॉइंट फैमिली में वो जो न्यूक्लियर फैमिली है दे हैव चेंज्ड, बल्कि जो एंटायर फैमिली है दे आर स्टिल फॉलोइंग देयर ओन, जो उनका सिख रिलीजन या जो भी ओरिजिनल रिलीजन था वो उसको फॉलो कर रहे हैं। अब इस केस में जब लास्ट राइट्स की बात आएगी तो इट इज बिट अ लिटिल बिट ट्रिकी थिंग कि वो किस तरीके से रिचुअल्स को परफॉर्म करेंगे। फाइन। तो डेमोग्राफी तो डेफिनेटली चेंज हो रही है, पॉपुलेशन जो है वो इंक्रीज हुआ है, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया कि 1.26% पॉपुलेशन जो थी, जो 6,000 थी, वो आई थिंक 2021 में बढ़ करके डबल से भी ज्यादा हो गई है। तो डेमोग्राफिक चेंजेस तो सर्टनली यहाँ पर आए हैं, बट यस कल्चरल और जो रिलीजियस बिलीफ सिस्टम है वो भी एंटायरली उस वजह से चेंज हो रहा है। जबकि डेरा सिस्टम में इस तरह का कल्चर नहीं है, वहां पर जाकर के आप अपने जो भी बिलीफ सिस्टम है आप उसके साथ कोई मतलब कोई डीफॉर्मेशन नहीं की जा रही है। तो यहाँ पर मैं ये नहीं कहूंगी कि ये डीफॉर्मेशन कर रहे हैं, बट यस people have their own reasons to get attracted towards those religions or their belief system, or they are getting यू कैन से खींचे चले जा रहे हैं, अट्रैक्टिंग टुवर्ड्स दैट। उनको लग रहा है कि वहां जाके पता नहीं उनकी किस तरह की समस्याएं जो है वो सुलझ जाएंगी जो कि उनके अपने रिलीजन में नहीं हो पा रहा। तो दैट इज द मेन थिंग, वेयर एज डेराज आर नॉट डूइंग ऑल दीज थिंग्स एज कंपेयर टू देम। तो आई होप आई हैव सक्सेसफुली गिव यू द आंसर।
Now let's move on.
Yes, ma'am.
Professor Sandeep.
थैंक यू।
Professor Sandeep.
Ma'am, please unmute your device, ma'am. You are mute.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Today is the day of a very fruitful discussion on Punjab's economy. The question which I have been asked, I just want to add that answer of that question also, and some picture of Punjab's economy also I want to tell as per the questions of many participants. Very first, agrarian distress we cannot ignore by environmental degradation distress. it becoming more severe. And therefore, once we look into the agrarian distress, simultaneously we have to solve the problems of environmental degradation, which makes our agrarian distress more severe. The question has come regarding diversification. Of course, it will come. Like if you will see from 1960 to 61 to till 2023, the time it has taken our groundwater depletion and rice production, the same time of agriculture diversification will take time. It is not a one day job. But then question comes how we can do. As one of the participants said that we are morely dependent on agriculture. Yes, we are, because we are not doing better in agro processing industries. We have to think about the agro processing industry so that the burden on agriculture will be reduced, and once that will be developed, simultaneously our service sector will be developed. And if and I cannot say this statement, we have to ignore the agriculture. We cannot ignore the agriculture. The reason is we have demographic dividend, we have fertile land, and moreover the most important trend which I am looking into, reverse migration. And I think I am positive about the reverse migration, though it is creating a unemployment pool at present. But that reverse migration, if we will give them good opportunity, like you just see the example of Manrega, it is a very successful story in Punjab. Similarly, there are so many stories. I'm just looking out Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana, which I have observed that very girls of 18-year age, they are ready to do some skilled based things. And similarly, such type of opportunities, if we will give to the youth or reverse migratory people or agrarian community, definitely some good steps or diversified steps will come. And diversification here my doesn't mean only agriculture diversification. My meaning of diversification here with the sectors also, agriculture along with industry and services. Thank you.
I think we have had a very interesting discussion, very, very good quality discussion, very thorough. Once again, I'm going to request Vikas to send me the recording so that I can share with policymakers.
Sure, sir, sure.
Um, and I want to thank each of the participants, the speakers who have played a prominent role in enriching this discussion. As you know, the issues are very, very complex. The complexity is resulting in conversion, and complexity is resulting in outmigration because it's so complex. And there are socioeconomic problems and there are cultural problems. There's exploitation happening place. And this, when you find the local area is not very conducive or doesn't provide you the feeling of an ownership or comfort level, obviously your first choice would be to migrate or to convert and get some acceptance. So this is what is being reflected in the discussion. I want to thank you, Vikas, for inviting me. Also want to
Thank,
congratulate you for an excellent panel that you formed, two economists and one historian. And that's why the discussion was so rich. With that, let me hand over the mic back to you and thanking you for making me listen to all this, giving me an opportunity to chair such a fantastic team of panel and a session. Thank you.
thank you so much, sir. Uh,
विकास
yes,
विकास जी
yes, ma'am. Yes,
विकास
ma'am.
जी आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं? Am I
Yes,
audible?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, आपसे 1 मिनट लेना चाहूंगी मैं. There was one question from
With
Uday
the
Bhatt.
with the permission of the Professor Charan Singh, sir,
Sure,
I,
sure,
I am not authority to allocate your time.
Karan sir,
sure. Go ahead, Professor. Yeah,
can
please
I?
go ahead.
Thank you, sir. उदयभान सिंह जी ने सवाल पूछा है कि विदेश जाने के लालच में लोग धर्मांतरण कर रहे हैं, जनसंख्या व सांस्कृतिक असंतुलन हो रहा है, जिसके विपरीत परिणाम देश व पंजाब में पूरी तरह से दिख रहे हैं। समाधान क्या है? सर, समाधान है सबसे पहले सेल्फ एजुकेशन, सेल्फ अवेयरनेस। शिक्षा का जितना प्रचार होगा, और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है स्किल ओरिएंटेड एजुकेशन। जब तक हम नहीं देंगे तब तक जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज, एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट करने वाली जब तक अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं हम डेवलप करेंगे तब तक माइग्रेशन नहीं रुकेगी। और जब एजुकेशन इस तरीके की दी जाएगी जहां पर आपकी मानसिकता को विकास किया जाए, जहां पर आपको लालच कोई देकर के आपके अपनी जड़ों से दूर ना कर सके, धर्मांतरण की बात तो आप छोड़ ही दीजिए, तब तक ये चीज नहीं रुकेगी। तो शिक्षा का प्रचार प्रसार और स्किल्ड बेस्ड एजुकेशन, जिसमें एम्प्लॉयमेंट को क्रिएट किया जाए, जिसमें हर व्यक्ति अपनी एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी को क्रिएट करे। एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी मतलब एम्प्लॉयमेंट मांगने वाले की बजाय एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट करने वाले जिस दिन हम बनाने शुरू कर देंगे ना, तो ये धर्मांतरण भी रुकेगा और माइग्रेशन भी रुकेगा। थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you so much, sir. And uh, for the formal vote of thanks, I will not take more time. First, I would like to thanks to Professor Charan Singh, sir. Actually, yesterday, I think at 8 o'clock, I had called to sir, and sir was in the meeting. That time, I had asked to sir, we want to invite you for the one session for the chair address. So sir had accepted my request. So thank you so much, sir. And I would like to thanks Professor Sandeep Madam, Professor Manu Sharma Madam, Professor Indraveer Singh sir, and all the participants. Those have taken their valuable time and joined this session. So on behalf of me and on behalf of the IRSA, I would like to thank everyone, and I request to Professor Charan Singh sir again. Sir, I will uh, if I will create such kinds of the discussion, then sure I will invite to you again, sir. And I hope that you will accept our request again. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm sending to you, sir, a recording of this session immediately. Yes. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Manu ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you,
Vikash.
Sandeep ma'am.